I'll go to my neighbor and say, you look good. I have my money in the car. That was my means of advertisement. No matter the business you're doing, there is always a way to advertise. I started selling to all the people in church. After a while, the brook dried. The people in church would tell me, I still have more in the freezer. I still have more in the freezer. And I said, God, where do I go to? God said to me, now Ayo, it's time to go to your last place of work, Corona School. Stand at the gate and start selling more. I said, Satan, I take authority and dominion over you. You know that, like Pastor Fumi said, you stoop to conquer. The Lord reminded me that you're not going to beg. You're going to offer a service. There is dignity in labor. There is no dignity in begging. I looked at myself that day, looked at myself in the mirror, psyched myself up very well, and I turned up in front of the school gate. I was praying that those few friends of mine who said to me when I was leaving Corona will not be around to pick up their children that day. But as soon as the gates flung open, and the parents began to troop out with their children, the first person that came out was my number one friend who told me, Ayo, a bird in hand is what you in the bush, don't resign. When I saw her, I looked for where to dock. But then as I turned back and I saw that cooler of moi that I had made with every cover I had, I knew that I wasn't going to run away. I said, I'm ready to face my fears. I said, God, give me strategy. You gave me strategy in the church. You gave me strategy with my family and friends. What do I do here? The Lord said to me, you will begin to shout like blind Bartimaeus. I began to shout like a woman from another world. My for sale! My for sale! Buy this my your life will not remain the same again. My friend grabbed my hand. Ayo, what are you doing? I said, I'm selling moi. She said, where is the school? I said, it is coming. Buy this moi and your life will not remain the same again. I sold every wrap of moi I took to that school gate. People bought for different reasons. Some bought because they were feeling sorry for me. Some bought because they were curious. I didn't care why they were buying. All I knew was that they were buying. For the next 2 to 3 months, I was at that gate. Come sun, come shade, come rain, come shine. Was I selling every day? No. There were times that there was no market. And I would have to go to the parents. Some of them would say, I'm sorry, I didn't come with money. I would say, take. When you have money, bring it. Because moi, I can't keep it. And there were times I would carry the moi home. And my children would eat at it. Say, Mommy, please. We are tired. And I would say, you eat. And then my husband is sitting in one corner of the room with a glass of water. After every bite of moi, he drinks water. And I turned to him, Femi, are you tired? No, I'm good. Thank God for such a support system. I kept praying. I kept trusting God for a change of my season and a change of my story. And then a day came as I stood at that gate. After hearing and learning and reading so much about business, I knew that I needed to give the business a name. God gave us the name No Leftovers. I began to transform the business with the help of God. Bought nylon bags and branded the bags. And one day, while standing at that same gate, a woman walked by. I knew she had never bought money from me before. But she had this No Leftover bag in her hand. Standing at that gate taught me things I could never learn in school. Taught me boldness and confidence. Taught me to realize that receiving no as an answer is not the end of life. I summoned up courage and walked to the woman and said, Ma'am, have you ever bought anything from this company? She said, no, I bought something down the road and my stuff was put inside. Why do you ask? I said, because I'm the MD of this company. She said, really? What do you do? I said, we make moi amongst other things. She said, really? This is a coincidence. I own an oil service firm and I have 100 staff. Right now we're looking for a caterer. Can you cook? I said, can I cook? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. One thing I forgot to mention is that while standing at that gate selling moi, people started coming to me. Ayo, if you can make moi this well, you can make jollof rice. I will make for them. Jollof rice for 20, 30 people in their offices. And then the orders for Oha, Afang, Edikaikon started coming. I didn't know how to make them. But when the orders started coming, I said, I will make them for you. And the Lord said to me, go to the market beside your house. Go and meet those Igbo women. Take your pen and paper. Tell them you want to buy the ingredients and ask for how you would cook them. When I went to those women, they actually thought, this is a Yoruba girl married to an Igbo man. And so when they are dishing out the recipe to me, they say, they're not going to take your husband. We go teach you. Nobody go fit take your husband. The next day I go to them again, Mama, now how they say make a cook, they don't go kill you. I go teach you. They taught me all the rudiments of cooking all those traditional meals. So by the time this woman came, the preparation process I had gone through made me ready to be able to take up that opportunity. My season changed again. We started catering for this company, and of course other corporate jobs started coming. But I had a burden. The burden that I didn't go to school. The burden that I didn't go beyond ASDF. The burden that I didn't go beyond shorthand and typing and as a secretary. I said, God, I want to go back to school. I kept praying. And one day I saw the pages of a newspaper that an American company was coming into Nigeria. Goldman Sachs was coming into Nigeria to invest in women who were into business but lacked business skills. As I read that advert, it fitted me so perfectly. But for the fact that they were doing it in conjunction with the Lagos Business School, I said, I don't have a university degree. They won't admit me. I took the paper to my husband and he said, Ayo, the God that has seen you this far will grant you favor. I applied for this program and I got on this program. I got the scholarship. At the end of the day, the panelists told me that the reason we actually gave you this opportunity is because we were just wondering, how can a woman start with 1,000 naira and come this far? After the program, the Americans decided to come into Nigeria. They had a dinner. We had a dinner for them. And then one of the directors was looking for women, 3 women who would share their story. I was called upon to share my story. My initial reaction was, I don't understand English. I can't speak to them. But the director insisted, when God puts his floodlight on you, nothing can hide you. What appears like what makes you appear unqualified actually make you perfectly fit for that assignment. As I stood up, before I started speaking, I went to the bathroom. And God said to me, you will glory in your infirmity. And as I stood, I made them know that before this program, I was like a woman that had toiled all night and caught nothing. At the end of my presentation, the Americans came to me and said to me, Ayo, you're an amazing speaker. And I'm like, who, me? He said, yes. You know what we want to do? We want to come to your office tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't have an office. I do all this in my kitchen. They said, more interesting. We're coming to your kitchen tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I was not living in VGC. I wasn't living in Ikoyi. I was living in Pangrove, Shipolu Street. So it shows you that your location does not matter. It's the location of who you have put your trust in. The next day, 7:30 a.m. I heard so much noise and I thought it was the Bariga boys fighting. I ran to my husband and I said, today that the Americans are coming, the Bariga boys have decided to fight. My husband said, calm down. We looked out of the window because we saw policemen with guns and everything. We now realized that those policemen with guns were actually the security details that had come with the Americans. My old security man, who never spoke English to my hearing, sighted these Americans. He started jumping from one end of the gate to the other, speaking Queen's English. No, restaurant, she's up, coming. And then I saw them, 3 embassy buses. And I watched them from upstairs as they offloaded their equipment. And I became concerned. I said to my husband, there's no light. There's never light at this time. They bring light at 5 p.m. How are they going to power their equipment? We only have the small gen. My husband said, calm down. If it is God, He will perfect what He has started. I calmed down. And as soon as the first American set foot into the house, light came. I said, God, it can only be you. And they came and they did all they wanted to do, encouraged me and said to me, you will hear from us. About 2 months later, I indeed heard from them. I got a letter. Ayo, you're a fantastic speaker. We'd like to make you the ambassador of this program. Can you come to America to make a presentation? And I'm like, I'll check my diary. I had never been to America. The closest experience I've had with America was Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. And I really loved that film. And each time I watched it, I would say to myself, one day it shall be me coming to America. And so when I got that mail, I said, America, I come. And to the glory of God, America, I remember getting to my hotel, getting even to the airport. And I saw somebody, a little child with a woman with a bouquet of flowers, and then like 5 people standing behind her with a welcome banner. And I'm like, oh, so there's a dignitary on display. Until I saw, welcome Ayodeji, Megbope. And I'm like, the stone which the builders rejected. I remember getting into my hotel room and asking, excuse me sir, how many of us are in this room? I couldn't believe that when the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, I made my presentation. I was back in Nigeria, doing my thing, building the business, facing all the obstacles. A few months later, I received another letter. This time around was from President Bill Clinton. President Bill Clinton, with his Clinton Global Initiative, was in partnership with Goldman Sachs. And he said, I want to focus on women this time. Do you have any woman on your program in all the 16 countries where you're operating in who can come and speak to my partners, who can share her story? And they said, there's a moi seller in Lagos, Nigeria. I went for the Clinton Global Initiative, came back, and God began to open strange doors. The next invite was from the Prime Minister of Turkey. Come and be a speaker at our entrepreneurship summit. I remember checking my ticket. I didn't even know. I didn't know any difference between seats. I looked at it as I was about traveling. It was my husband. He said, Ayo, your seat is 3A. I said, what does 3A mean? He said, it's business class. I said, God, it can only be you. Ladies and gentlemen, from that point, it's been from one place to the other on a platform that could only have been given to me by God. In 2014, the Lord spoke to me, it's time to expand your business. And I just thought that, I needed to go to my bank to ask for a facility. I put all my papers together and I went to my bank. They looked at my papers and they said, not bad track record. But you know what? We'll give you 30% and you bring 70%. And I'm like, who does that? About 2 weeks after, I get a call from the US. Ayo, how's your business? Have you been able to obtain a loan to grow your business? I said, no. I had this experience with my bank a few weeks ago. And they said, we're actually calling you because it's International Women's Day in a few weeks. And the White House says to us, we want to showcase 2 women. One who has been able to access a facility for her business. And we have found that woman in Brazil. But we're looking for another woman who has worked tirelessly and the banks have slammed their doors at her face. Ayo, will you come to the White House? That was how I stood on that platform in the White House on International Women's Day in 2014, sharing my story. June 2016, I was invited on the platform